Sis, welcome to our healing table. Our healing table is our personal journeys, us coming together, just talking about what our healing looks like. It's a journey. Healing is not in a box.
Not at all. I desire for this table to grow beyond us, and other women can see themselves at this table.
Pull up a seat, sis.
Yeah, pull up a seat, sis.
Pull up a seat to the table. No, this definitely, and especially with the table being round, you know, cyclical, just, again, I always talk about us as women, we move in phases. I'm your host, Taryn.
And I'm Shamika.
And we are holding it down for you guys, doing our healing table. Y'all, this is the first episode.
Yeah.
Episode 1.
Episode 1.
I feel like we're giving birth.
Yeah, all of the things. I feel like I'm feeling all of the things right now.
Yes, I know. A little like nervousness because we're having conversation on camera. I think the camera just adds to the nerves.
Yeah.
But we got our essential oil blend to help us ground, to help us get it together. We have rose, frankincense, patchouli, lavender in there, and then we got our teas.
Yeah.
So we then equipped ourselves so that our space is just relaxing, feels good to us, and we're two herbalists coming together.
And I'm ready for it.
Yes, we're about to talk about
I'm
our
ready
journey.
for it.
What tea we got? We're going to be starting every episode with our teas.
Yeah.
So our first blend, what we got today, sis?
We have a peppermint and eucalyptus tea. Bought the peppermint from the garden. Then there's some holy basil. It was peppermint and holy basil.
Yes, okay.
Is what it
Peppermint,
is.
holy basil, yes. Both
And
from the
so-
gardens. One is from, holy basil is from my garden.
And then the peppermint is from my garden.
Yes, so a little blend from both of our gardens.
Cheers.
Cheers.
Let's take one more sip.
I had to take a double back sip too. That just feels, even yesterday when I was drinking tea, I was like, tea just nourishes the soul. It just feels
It does.
warming. It just feels relaxing. It just feels right.
Yeah. And I feel like this blend in particular, like, you get that deliciousness of that holy basil, and then it fades out and fades into that refreshing part of that mint. And so I like that.
Me too, and I'm happy that we only did like a simple blend. Like we didn't have to do too many herbs, like too many different things to experience. Like we're experiencing the mint, and I thought that mint would be like really good for our episode 1 too, because this is our opening
up,
episode, and mint makes you feel open, and holy basil just makes you feel like relaxed, peaceful.
With it being a powerful adaptogen, I throw that in there. It brings harmony, and so I think that with that, I'm looking for that to just balance me.
You don't
out
even
because-
got to look for it. It's here. We are harmonized. It's just going to promote that. It's supporting what we already have here right now. And I'm ready. I'm ready to get up into it. All right, so let's get into introductions of ourselves so that our listeners know who we are. We are what we call your herbal homegirls, okay?
Yeah.
So we're going to be talking about herbs. We're going to have a whole homegirl vibe.
Lifestyle.
We just going to be chilling.
Very authentic.
Very
all of the
authentic.
things.
Very authentic. You want to go first, sis?
Yes. So I am Shamika. I am the founder of What Grandma Said Herbalism School. I do all of the things herbs. Okay, all I do is herbs, but I make sure I do them very well. I'm big on community and building and education. So that is who I am.
Okay, and then, you know, even though she's doing her introduction, I want to go into her introduction too. Because, you know, when somebody say that they do something, sometimes you don't always understand the gravity of what they do.
Yeah.
But her herbalism school is out here changing the game for so many women. I would definitely say for Black women, but I would say for so many women, just to encourage herbalists being in every home. I've taken some of her workshops. I'm about to do her mentorship because she really be doing the work in the community.
I be doing it.
You be doing it. And I admire that about you.
Thank you, sis.
I admire your herbal journey and everything. So I'm so excited to be here with you and just even to work with you in any capacity as well.
Thank you. I appreciate that. Don't make me cry, Taryn.
No, I said we're not crying on this episode. I don't know. We're women and it might happen. I don't know.
Yeah.
But I'm not gonna do it. Yeah. Okay, so yes, I'm Taryn Lewis. I'm the owner of Urban Eden, which is a natural herbal body care business. I falter between saying like herbal body care and natural soap, but we make natural soap and other different body care products. I'm also a herbalist. A lot of our products are plant-based, so I've just had to do a lot of herbal research in that, and I just love all things herbs, plants, books, all things. Yes, all things. My name is Taryn, which means earth, so it just flows. And how old am I? I'm 34. If we had to know, we would say ages.
Look, we said that earlier. You said, how old are you? I had to think about it.
You got to think about it. We are both in our mid-30s. I was born in upstate New York. I've moved around to so many different places, but Georgia is where my roots are. Georgia is where I'm establishing my family. And what about you?
So I am born and raised in Georgia as well. My family is actually from Ackworth, Georgia. So these are my stumping grounds. Like,
right up,
been
right
here
up
all my
in
life,
here.
but I ventured out and traveled, so it's like being born and raised here. So now I explore. So I guess,
yeah. I mean, that's what life is about. As we get older, you kind of move on and establish your roots in different areas. All right, so that's us. Again, I'm Taryn. That's Shamika.
I want to mention a thing, just in case people are wondering like how we met each other. We were just having that conversation, so we don't really know. I want to say that
that's a really important thing, though.
Yes. And we have just kind of like connected since the beginning. It has always been just a genuine connection with us. And so, we don't necessarily know how we met, but we met. We are doing things together. And I guess I can say too, like, I never thought that like our friendship would like lead us here. But I'm grateful for it.
Me too, but I did say to you, I don't know if it was like a couple months ago, I said we're going to end up, it wasn't a couple months ago, it was several months ago. It was actually around springtime, because it was when I was feeling all this like transformation. And I remember I messaged you and I was like, we're going to work together in some way. I was like, I'm not sure. We hadn't even talked about doing the podcast yet. I was like, we're going to work together in some way. I'm not sure, but I was just like, I know that I'm like loving what you're doing.
I had the dream after that.
What about us working together?
Yeah, so what the idea of the podcast came to me through a dream, and then that's when I reached out to Taryn. So I don't know, but we have aligned.
And here we are.
We have aligned, and we are here.
Yes, and that's why I said this is definitely like a labor of love. And now we're going to talk about our healing table, matter of fact, how we even got here. But it was definitely a labor of love. It took us some time to get here. It took several months. But, good things take time. Great things take time to plan. We're women. We wanted to make sure that, we had our things aligned.
Have our things aligned. And then, like, you running the business, having a school, like, we know what that looks like. So we had to, like, intentionally set aside time, find all of the things, paint the walls together, like we built it from scratch. So that I am grateful for.
Me too. And I'm thankful. I think our name is very unique. There are other names like Healing Table, but this is our healing table. Our healing table is our personal journeys, us coming together, just talking about what our healing looks like. It's a journey. Healing is not in a box.
Not at all.
Not in a box. Yeah. So we're just talking about the things that are relatable to us, and hopefully you guys find the things that are relatable to y'all as women as well. If you in your 30s, your 20s, I think like 30s, you in that good mid-range where you done been there. You still got a lot of things to experience.
And you got to prepare for where you know that you're going. Yeah.
That's facts.
So I think like being in your 30s is such a sweet space. It's kind of like, I feel like I'm finally discovering myself in womanhood and like making my yes and my no a no. Like I'm not in that in between. I feel like in my 20s I spend a lot of time there. So with this Our Healing Table, I feel like being a voice to our old selves, who we currently are, and our future selves, and then allowing other women to see that. And I think that we can show up in all of the spaces.
I think so too. Yes, we're definitely in our 30s. What you say you 35? I get on all my friends that's 35. I be like, y'all in y'all mid-30s. I'm pre-mid.
I'm young. That's all I say.
I ain't say you was old. I just say you was in your mid-30s. I'm pre-mid. Okay, I ain't there yet.
Yeah. I am 35, but I feel like I'm the happiest I've ever been in my life at 35. The most peaceful I've ever been, and my healing is it's top tier. I feel like now, like I feel like I have gotten the tools at 35, and so I look forward to 45, 55, 65, 75, 85, 100, 95.
I know in about 10 more years, you probably, because I've heard a lot of women say, like, in your 30s, you're definitely establishing who you are. 20s was like, we was really all trying to figure it out. Yeah. 30s, you're establishing. But 40s, I heard, is like, you good and established. Like, you really, really, and I don't know if that might be a little bit more mid, like, in the 40s. Because, you know, you have, like, those 30 years kind of behind you. You'll have another, like, 30. We are declaring longevity around here, okay?
Yes, ma'am.
We live in, we are protected. Yes. We are protected, divinely protected with our lives. And we're also doing the things, just showing up and healing, showing up for ourselves and healing. Yeah. So to ensure longevity for ourselves, our bodies, mind, body, soul.
Right.
Okay. So, yes, what is your vision for Healing Table?
So my vision for Healing Table is to be a safe space for community. I think in this podcast era, I don't see if I see it from like a healthy perspective all of the time. And so for me, I desire for this table to grow beyond us. And other women can see themselves at this table. So that's my vision for it.
Pull up a seat, sis.
Yeah, pull up a seat, sis.
Pull up a seat to the table. No, this definitely, and especially with the table being round, you know, cyclical, just, again, I always talk about us as women. We move in phases, like the circle just continuing to go through life. Again, not being in a box. But my vision is pretty much the same, a safe space for us to be able to come and talk. I know you have your Discord that you do where we can just come together as an herbalism community, but that's what you need, though. You need a sis that you can talk about herbs with, you can talk about healing with. Everything. Let's talk about like growth. Let's talk about good things that's inspiring each other. It don't got to be about gossip. It don't have to be all, you know, negativity.
Because I feel like it's not that. Like, I want this table to be like a grab another sister and bring her forward, because I feel like some ways in like sisterhood and womanhood, we've lost that. Like, we've lost the traditions. The information isn't being passed down. The things aren't being shared. And I wonder how much I would have known in my 20s if I had somebody in their 30s to reach back and grab me.
Right.
Or even a year ago, you know what I'm saying? Like, through these different phases. So I desire for the table to be that type of representation.
I feel that, because even yesterday, I feel that actually with you. I feel that that's what you do with me. And that's what I was thinking, because I was like, well, dang, I've been doing like herbalism for quite some time. But yesterday, Shamika did a herbal client intake workshop, and it was like 4 hours long. And at the end of it all, I really took the workshop because I definitely wanted to help with my confidence and like working with other people and, you know, researching herbalism and taking that journey. A lot of the times I just do focus on myself and just like my child and Quentin as well. And like you said, you start with yourself first and foremost, but then just wanting to help others around you, like other family members, other friends. But I thought about that yesterday, and I was like, even though I had just been in my herbalism journey the way I did, and I've taken courses here or there, I literally felt like you kind of just was like, come on, sis, like, let's go forward. Like, I feel like you helped to equip me and other women with those different things so that we can kind of like continue to move forward. And then, you know, our journey is going to look like our own journey, but just still giving us those tools to go forward. We need that.
I agree.
We need that.
I agree with that 100%. I thank you. And I'm glad that, like, you were able to receive my light within that way, because that's what it's about. Like, even though that we've achieved all of these things, like, it's always space and opportunity to grow. And so I think like even our private conversations, it's like, yes, it's like you can do all of the things, like, you know. And so that is my goal. I want to see everyone do well. Like, I get great joy in planting seeds and seeing how they blossom into beautiful things in other people. And so that's something that I really love. It's something that I really stand by, because it fills me. It fills me in a way. And it's really too, when you understand that life is about the interconnectedness within relationships. And how, like, we're all here to support each other in our evolution. And essentially, like, we're walking each other home.
We are mirrors and reflections.
Right. So why not make sure that it's, like, enjoyable?
No, that's facts. And like you said, that interconnectedness, that connection, I think that's one of the greatest gifts. Love for one is just an amazing gift, but that's connection. Love. When you make a person feel love, like, how can you be mad at love? Love feels so good. Love is uplifting. That's why we got that rose rose. Rose. And look, maybe that's why we started talking about love. Rose is one of my favorite essential oils just because it helps to promote self-love for yourself, first and foremost, confidence, but also like love for others. You love the essential oil the way it smells. It's a superpower.
It's a superpower. Like it is, love is a life hack. Love is a life hack. Like it should be foundational, I think, in like all of the things. And for me, it's like, I love love.
I love love
I
as
really
well.
do.
I love love. Love. When we talk about healing, healing involves love because you have to love on yourself first and foremost. It always, to me, I always start with myself. Like you are definitely very community based, and I know it definitely starts with love first. Right now, I've just been more so like to myself. I do have my business, which I give love through that as well. But I had to learn a lot through my journey with, being a business owner, as far as like, wow, I'm helping other people as well, like in making these products. My first thought was just like make products that were just going to be good or what have you. But love, it always starts with myself first. And then once you kind of have that within yourself, once you have that established and that foundation of love within yourself, then it's easier to give it out to others. That's that light and that love that you're sharing with others.
Yeah. 100% agree with that, man. Like I said, I love love.
I love love too.
Big on love.
I actually had a question. I was going to write it down, but I was thinking about this yesterday. We're always talking about love languages, and we're always talking about how like people love, like what's your love language for someone else to love on you, but what's your love language for yourself?
That is a good one. I think for me, it's become like the words of affirmation. And I know this isn't one, but like stillness, finding a deep peace within myself. And so I think that may be even loving on me within all of the love languages and prioritizing myself. Like that has become my life hack. Yeah.
Honestly, those are my same ones. You said stillness. I was thinking from the aspect of how they say like love languages. I'm like quality time, spending time with myself. Like when you just kind of could just shut the world out and really be able to listen to that internal, and then be able to show up better for yourself and others outside in the world. But you got to work on that internal first and foremost.
Because if you at war within, I know what that feel like. That's a different kind of thing. And then I think like the times that I can think back when I was at war within, like I was looking for people to help me to like put out those small fires and to do all of the things and help the war to be over, and realizing that like I had to go get myself within that. And it was for me I really had to defeat and overcome myself to get out of that war. So, yeah.
And that's another thing. That's a part of love, though, too, is like that battle with yourself. Because you love yourself, you're willing to fight those demons that you have or those battles that are within because you love yourself and you want to see better for yourself.
Self-love is also a form of love.
Self-love should be the top. It's a top tier form of love. I mean, it's divine, it's godly, and then you are able, I think, especially when we talk about as women, like pouring into yourself, you're able to pour into others. Once you pour into yourself, you don't want to be pouring from an empty cup, barely giving what you got.
It's exhausting.
You got to keep replenishing.
Yeah, and I give myself permission to do that. Like I just come off the road traveling and teaching. I came back last week. I taught Monday, Tuesday, and Wednesday. Then turned around and had a class on yesterday. Next week, I'm going to be disconnected. Yes. I don't care what the world needs of me. I'm going to disconnect. So Thursday to probably next Monday, I'm going to be tapped out. Because that is time for me. I have given. And I'm glad to be in a space where I can do that, because I've identified as like, that is my pouring into my cup. I like to duck off, go do my thing, whatever it is that I want to do, travel, whatever. And then I come back, okay.
Replenish.
Replenish.
Yes.
Yeah, always.
To replenish,
because burnout is real.
It's very real.
Burnout is real. Stress is real. Like, I don't have time for that.
Stress is literally, physically, it could kill you. Like, it's not just a matter of just feeling. And sometimes, like, I went and seen a functional medicine doctor, but he was like, sometimes you be dealing with stress when you probably don't even like, you're probably not in a stressful situation, but it was like traffic can make you feel, like any little thing. And I even had to realize, like, even yesterday, right before your class, I was doing like a whole bunch of ripping and running. My phone had like stopped working. And I was just telling Quentin, like, I was like, I literally feel stressed. I was like, I feel stressed, and I just needed it. I needed that moment to really be able to come and sit and take those. Even taking a class, like for a couple of hours where you're like learning. And I was up in my space, my sacred space that I have for myself. But like after that, I felt great. I came back down, like ready to
even
be with my family.
You was hyped. You was like, I'm ready. I'm ready to take on the world. I'm ready to do the things. Yeah, and then like filling your cup looks differently in different spaces, right? And I think oftentimes it's based on your passions and the things that you admire and what you really like. So for me, like going out, for some people playing tennis might be filling their cup. I don't care anything about tennis. So like when I can go do something herbal related, because that's a passion of mine, that also fills my cup. But going out and playing tennis, likely it won't. No. And so I think that is even important to cultivate and identify like the things that actually fill your cup. Yeah. And like, it's self-care gonna look differently for everybody.
It really is, and that's okay.
Fluid.
Yes, I think that we're so like, because I think maybe because we have social media, so we're like looking at other people and seeing what they're doing or
that's
comparing.
Self-care for them.
That is self-care for them. It's just like, what is your personal self-care feel like for you? Maybe you don't like to journal. Maybe I know there are people who like to run, like you said.
Some people don't like to meditate.
I don't like to run. There are some people that don't like to meditate.
Some people don't like to drink tea.
They might
take
not
a
like
tincture.
the soothing music.
Okay, some people don't want to do none of the things, right? It's gonna look differently for everybody, and I think that's the importance of like on your healing journey, identifying like what really works for you and what it is that you truly desire.
That is facts, and that comes down to having grace with yourself. As women and as people, we have to have grace with ourselves. Again, it's not in a box. Healing doesn't have a box. It should just healing. In a sense, is like growth. It's evolution. It's those different things that you do to work on yourself every day. So what does healing look like for you right now?
So healing, so one thing I want to piggyback before we jump there, I want to say that there's no look to healing. I think that has become a thing within the natural healing space. It's like you got to aesthetically look healed, or you got to have lots of all these things. You got to be healed, not look healed, okay? Like that's be healed and not look healed. Let that be the thing you take away from
Don't just be looking healed.
I don't care how your lifestyle look, how many locks you got. I don't care the aesthetics, the clothes, all of the things. Actually be and embody that.
Yes. Feel that.
Feel it. Okay. Live it.
Show.
Yeah, it's gonna show up.
Yes.
So back to your question. I just want to plug that in because I think oftentimes people get lost in the aesthetics of what healing should look like, or I should talk with a certain tone. It can become so performative. So for me right now, healing looks like flowing into safe spaces. Like I'm learning to embrace safe spaces. I know like one thing that you mentioned to me a few weeks back was about living softer, and I was like, I don't know, friend, if I want a soft life, and I had to go home and like think about that, like what does a soft life look for me, right? Because when we talked about the soft life, like your life and like being a mom and being a wife and all of the things, that's not where I am, right? And so with that, I was like, what does a soft life look like for me? And so I've been peeling back those layers of like understanding what that looked like for me and knowing that I could also have it, even know that my life looks differently. And so I've been unlearning that hustle mentality. I'm also allowing myself to be loved on properly. I think after so many toxic relationships, having healthy ones is like, okay, having healthier friends and sisterhood. That's another thing that I'm learning right now. So through you and through another sister that I'm really getting close to, I'm unlearning the hurt and the betrayal that I've experienced in sisterhood. And so for me, like it's layered. I'm unlearning generational curses from having conversation with my grandmother about ways that she did things and where she went wrong. And so my grandmother's someone that I talk to every day. Y'all, love my grandma down. And she's been so transparent with me just about where she has been in life. And I wanted to make sure that I didn't continue the cycles of so many things, whether it's single motherhood, not learning about finances, money, investment, all of the things I've seen my family grow through. So when I tell y'all I'm healing some stuff, I'm healing some stuff in so many areas, and it feels good. Like when I tell you I'm finding this like deep peace within, like I'm happy just to be happy. And I haven't always been there, and so for me, about to make me cry.
I'm over here trying to hold back. I was like, I'm trying not to cry on this first episode, but you struck a chord already.
It's
when you look back at that healing, like, when you say like pulling back layers, it's so many different layers to it. You struck a chord for me when you just mentioned friendship and sisterhood, and I think that it's been so hard for a lot of us as women to like establish that, and maybe because we're adults now, and our sisterhood and our friendship is not going to look like when we were like teenagers, when we had all the time in the world to hang out with each other and do all the things. Like now we're getting older, we're all women who got our own different things going on in our lives, and the ways that we end up showing up look so differently. And my biggest challenge, my biggest struggle, I feel like in my life has just been like friendship, sisterhood. It's been feeling like I'm gonna cry. Yeah. This feel like when I had, like for me growing up, I moved around so much, so I never had like a best friend or nothing like that. I've always had many different groups of friends for whatever phase of my life. I feel like I have friends for like different phases of my life that they fit like whatever I'm going through right then in my phase, like that's my friend. So that's why I'm like, it just struck a chord, because I'm just always questioning myself, like, and that's what I'm saying. Healing is very real. It's not always just like sunshine. It's not always rainbows. It's not always like I have everything figured out. You start trying to figure it out. For me, I'll just be trying to figure out like friendships. I'm like, am I showing up as like a good friend? But all I can do is like what I can do, what I know to do, and then I learn a lot of new things along the way. Like even you give like great gifts every time we see each other, and
that's become our thing.
I love that too. But it's so thoughtful, because when you have a friend who's into a lot of the same things as you, like okay, we can find some different gifts to give to each other. I know me as like a mom and a wife, I be needing like quality time with women. Like I just need like just women time, and sometimes I feel like I can't always find that so quickly, because again, we all have our things going on. Like maybe when I got downtime, somebody else might not have downtime or something like that. But like we need that though as women. We need, and it don't have to be a big group of friends. You don't need a big group of friends. We need sisterhood. Yes, you need sisterhood. You need just a few people. But that is like a sore spot in my heart, friendship and sisterhood, just because I feel like so many people have been burned. I've been burned by sisterhood. I've been burned by like friendships, and I've been on that other side where I've probably been that friend that wasn't a good friend to somebody. It was a lot of things that I had to learn about myself as well, and that's why you can have grace with yourself, but then also just having grace with other people. Don't let nobody play you. Don't let nobody play you, but just also having grace with like your other adult friends, because we all going through some shit.
Yeah, that is a whole word. I thank you for opening up about that, Taryn.
You struck a chord.
Because it's needed. Like sisterhood, I think, has become another trendy thing, and so I think it's something that we desire, we seek. I'm so community based, and so. Like you said, that hurt from sisterhood. I put my friends on a pedestal. Maybe that's probably where I go wrong sometimes. But like when I lose a friend, I hurt. I grieve.
That's real grief.
That's like grief. We don't talk about it grieving when we breaking up in relationships, but grieving and losing a friend,
that hurts. I think it takes longer to kind of get over a friendship, because you be like, damn, I thought I had a friend. Right. We got friends no more.
Or even having those moments where you like y'all are used to talking about a certain thing, so when something happened, you can't pick up the phone and call, or you got connected with like their family, so you question things, whatever. And I still make sure like I pray for them or whatnot. But I think through sisterhood and the ending of friendship, it has helped me to understand that some things are not like forever. And so I've learned to really appreciate people in the phases, in the spaces that they come in. But I have also had the reservation and the guard up as well, because I think like for me within this space, social media, I think becoming popular and having a following and things, people gravitate towards you. And I was seeking sisterhood so bad that I was just like letting women come in,
anybody like
and be
Velcro,
my friend,
whatever.
And then realizing that people have like motives, and for me it's like like. Kick it with me because you want to kick it with me, not because of what I do or any other things. Like, we can have things in common, but like it's the genuine aspect of sisterhood that I like yearn for. And so like when I do have one, that I'm like, okay, like let me show up how I can show up or whatever. But it's that genuine sisterhood that I have like a deep desire for. So healing that in this season and throughout the different phases, and however we can show up. Like I enjoyed us going out and eating burgers a few weeks back. Like I enjoyed that, right? I enjoy all of the ways that like we can show up for each other, even if it's just like me reaching out to Quinn, like, Quinn, you think Taryn will like these earrings kind of things. It's like, it's like things like that when you understand, like, going back to that love is selfless in a sense.
It really is.
Yes. And when you do have that, it allows you to like show up for people even in sisterhood.
No, that's facts. That's facts. Adult friendship is hard to navigate because you have so many people that have been friends for like years, and you just like, well, dang, how do I make space for that? But I think that adult friendships are something to be cherished as well. And I think the greatest thing about adult friendships is that you can be more intentional with them. You know, you could just be like, how do I intentionally be a better friend? And then just hoping that a friend might be more understanding. I've even had to try to be in that situation where I had to be more understanding when a friend might not be, you know, they might not want the space or something that I'm giving, and it will make you, you know, second guess or just be like dang, this person might not still be my friend. But you know, just like you said, sometimes the phase, people are in different phases. I've grown apart from a lot of friends, and like I'm still like, even if I've probably grown apart from like a person that was a best friend, I still might be like friends with that person, but maybe not in the same space. But that hurts too. Yeah. That growing apart and that grieving what once was. And that's not there.
They get, I think, in friendship, like, you get some of the most, you explore the depths of me, I feel like. Like, I can be the most vulnerable. Like, because in friendship, I don't feel like I have my guard up as I do in relationship.
Right.
Like, you know, I'm not looking for all of the red flags like I would in a relationship, I guess, in, like, friendship. And so, with that, it's kind of like, yeah, it's a lot of unlearning. It's a lot of unpacking. And it definitely, it hit different.
Yes, it really do. And you know, if you guys relate to any of this, because I think that this is like a really great conversation to just, for us as women in our 30s, to just talk about friendships, to talk about sisterhood. Even in the comments down below,
let us know.
Let us know about, like, you know, what sisterhood means to you. What does friendship look like for you? Are you going through a healing process or a grieving process? And you go through that grieving process as you continue to grow through life. You know, every friend is not going to be there or show up in that same way and in that same space that maybe that they did before, and you're probably not going to show up in the same way and space that you did before. And then it's like sometimes you can't even do nothing about it because you can't make a friend be more of a friend, and you know you can't do it like that.
There's so many factors that go into that or whatever. So yeah, that's another thing that they can let us know of, like, how have you learned to even mend friendships if you have in womanhood, especially later on in life compared to what you would have done younger. Like, let's have some conversation around this in the comments.
Yes, y'all leave some comments. I think like what could be cool too, to like even in our next episode or one of our future episodes, to just kind of like do some, if we get comments, like just probably go through those comments and probably just bring the conversation back up a little bit, and just touch on it. But girl, them friendships, like you said, that breakup and that the changes of friendships are very tough. I know your relationship status as far as with the guys is a little different. You know me, I'm locked in with my husband. We just be going through things, just that whole what men and women, and even like, I mean, I would say like for me as a wife, there's so many different healing things, factors and phases in my life. One is always definitely like just being a wife, a partner, how I'm showing up to like my husband. Another one for me is motherhood. I think motherhood is just like one of them things that rocks your world, especially being a mother to a daughter. Like, that's a reflection, that's a mirror. They will check you just as far as like how you're parenting, how you're showing up. And you know, even when we talk about friendships, motherhood is another thing that like changes you. It's just like, how do I show up best for my daughter? How do I or best for my child in general? Like, how do I show up and be like different in a way? You know, you take some things from your mother that you might like and some things that you don't like, or from your grandmother or any women in your life. But those are two of my areas. And then of course, like as a business owner, and being a mom for right now, being a mom and a business owner is very, very tough. For one, being a business owner, we already know
it's already tough.
It's very demanding. Being a mom and a business owner, very tough. And I'm thankful that I have a partner who can like step in and help a lot with the business. Like, he pretty much does a lot of the operational side of the business. And so that way I can be the mom that I want to be, where I get to like spend time with my child every day. You know, you get the overstimulation and all, but being able to spend time with her is just a joy, and really just like creating the life that you want. I think like when we talk about healing, that's really what it comes down to, is like that change. After I even gave birth to her, I felt like I cut my locks off. I had my locks for like 10 years. I was weighing much more than I've ever weighed in my life. Like my clothes, I was just going up in clothes size. Like my weight was not dropping back down, and I just wasn't happy with myself. I'm say was because I feel good now.
I said that to that girl, and you look good.
She said I look good. I said stop playing
and you
with
look
me.
good.
Stop playing with me. But that's my thing. It's the self-worth. You could have like your husband or a friend or something be like, girl, you look good, but it's like I want to feel good. Like I know what I'm supposed to feel like and how I want to feel, within my body. And I really got down on myself. I was really feeling like I'm just feeling like I don't look good, and my hair not done, my face not cute, and my body not cute. I'm not dressing the way, like everything was wrong. But I had to realize, and one thing that I'm always big on is that I can't look for change outside of myself. I can't be like, oh, I'm not feeling good and just expect the change to happen. Like I knew that I had to do what it takes to see that change that I wanted to see. And my healing has looked like discipline. That's been like the overarching thing. It was like, and even with herbalism, anything in your life, you can read tons of books and you can get the knowledge, but it's like a matter of applying it first and foremost. You got to put it into play to see that change that you want to see. So like, yes, I knew that, I could eat a better diet or I could work out, but I really kind of like wasn't applying it in fullness. I listened to Jim Rohn, and he said discipline is that silent warrior. It's those things that you do every day that you don't have to post. Like you said, it's not performative. It's not stuff that you're always posting. It's those little things that you do for yourself daily that becomes a habit, that becomes a part of your lifestyle, that becomes that change that you want to see. So it's been looking like discipline. It's been looking like doing things sometimes when honoring when I need to rest, but honestly doing things when I don't want to. Sometimes my biggest thing is working out. I always like to work out, but
but we have to.
You got to
in these 30s, since you're not in your mid 30s. Let you tell it.
My pre-mid 30s.
Your pre-mid 30s. Yeah, working out is a thing. We have to prioritize our health. Yeah,
you sure do, especially in your 30s. I seen a post the other day that said, if you are able-bodied, work out, be in shape, like just do some sort of activity, some movement. You even that case study that you did yesterday, you were like that the person just had a sedentary lifestyle, like they're always sitting. Like
you have to do something.
You have to, and it's a reflection of your mind.
Yeah, a reflection of your mind, and it's giving you a preview to your future. Because this is the thing that people don't consider. What you're doing in your 30s are going to show up in your 40s. What you're doing in your 40s are going to show up in your 50s. And so you don't have time to take time when it comes to health. Health is the only thing that you really have in life, okay? And you have to work for it and to be able to maintain it. And like your body is that only vehicle. So how do you want it to drive? Forever.
Yes.
Like I see a lot of things in community that is motivation for me. And so that is how I stick to I may not want a kale salad, but I eat it. Okay? Like every herb.
I'm going to have to give you a good kale salad recipe, girl, because I love a kale salad.
I want the recipe before I leave today. I absolutely love kale salads, right? But it may not be something that I'm necessarily craving, right? Because we have to unlearn it, especially when we've been unhealthy. So we've talked about being unhealthy and healing, but let's talk about it from the aspect of food, because even with that's something that I've had to relearn. And so learning to add all the herbs into my dishes and cook with, I've now made herbalism a lifestyle. But before then, as I was transitioning, I was still having those cravings, right? I was unhealthy. So I was still having those cravings and all of the things. Now we're sitting here drinking tea, of course, with no sweetener. But I remember a time when it was I had to have a sweet tea.
Right.
So, yeah, that
tea
health
is
not at all. That health is necessary, though.
No, it really is. And it's in that food. Like you said, it's definitely into the food. Our kitchen cupboards, just taking care of ourselves in that way. Definitely just with our lifestyle. I know me personally, recently I do an anti-inflammatory lifestyle. I haven't had no fried chicken in quite some time. I might, when did I have, it might have been several weeks, but prior to then I was having fried chicken as often as I wanted. Gotcha. Now I'm eating fried chicken very sparingly, eating bread very sparingly, because it's that discipline, and it's I always said, like, when you know better, you do better, but then sometimes you don't always, like, you just like, I'm just good, I'll be all right. But you really have to just apply and really do. The anti-inflammatory diet has been helping me greatly, just with really seeing the change that I wanted to see. And it really kind of just opened up my eyes to, like, wow, we're eating so many things that are, like, contributing to inflammation and high blood pressure and high cholesterol. And, you know, healing looks like getting your body, all parts of you, but definitely your body back into balance.
Yeah, because when you understand healing is spiritual, mental, physical, emotional, all of the things, like, yes, it may seem like overwhelming and a lot to balance, but, like, it's necessary. And when you can control that food and that intake, because when you start to eat all these foods, it start to play on your psyche. You see, you know, you're going to see it play out in every area of your life. And so when you understand what nutrition is and the purpose of food, you start looking at it, like, differently. So people, you know, like, don't let your taste buds kill you. You know, we enjoy the fried chicken, right? But at what cost?
At what cost, girl? I be watching these people on social media doing these mukbangs, and actually people have been making content about people doing mukbangs. They're like, do y'all not care about y'all life? Like, y'all are literally making videos, and, you know, if you make a mukbang, that so be it to you. But honestly, literally, when you see people stuffing their mouths full of food, like unhealthy food, and, like, that's the content, and that's the content that they realize is, like, what people like, so then they continue to do it for the likes and for the looks. But then you paying for that in your health. Like, yes, it's cool right now. Like, don't let a phase in social media just, like, cause you a lifetime of, like, health issues, and then you trying to battle that, like, later on in your life when really now is the time to be taking charge of your health and doing what you got to do. But yes, and the mukbangs, they be a little interesting to watch sometimes, but then I be sitting up there looking at people like,
does not look okay.
Bring it down.
So I have a question. With all that we have discussed, like, what is one thing that's helping you grow and shift, right? Because you talked about how you experience these things. Like, we talked about, like, as far as what we're healing through now. Like, what's holding you to that? Like, your growth as well as your change, you shifting.
Another one thing that's contributing to my growth is seeing the change, like seeing what consistency actually brings. So then it's like, once you see those good results, it's like, okay, and me and you done had a conversation about that before. Like, really, when you start to see the change, it kind of motivates you to do more. But also, another one that you mentioned was, like, words of affirmation. I recently had got a book called Mirror Work, where I looked at, you know, you do different practices in the mirror, and you look at yourself, and you know, you work on things within yourself and the way that you see yourself in the mirror. You're practicing your self-worth, and just knowing that whatever change it is, I just have to do those different things. So, like, me, I'm already interested in, like, stuff like yoga and journaling and walking and different things like that, but just finding what fits me in my phase. Like, I do yoga, but not as often as I was doing it before. Now it's just, like, a matter of, like, having grace with myself, not rushing the growth. Even I find that, like, within my business, it doesn't need to be, like, something that's real quick. Again, I always bring up social media because I feel like social media is really causing the days to go by really, really fast. So you looking up, it's the next week, it's the next day, it's the next month. It's very hard to be in the moment. So really, like, just those moments where you could, like, slow down and really focus on yourself. And like I said, those little things that you do when nobody's watching, like, even if it's you writing in your journal or writing down my goals. I recently just wrote down my goals. Writing stuff down on paper. Us, how we pretty much said, like, you came to me about a podcast, and I'm like, okay, sis, you want to do the podcast? But we put in the work to make sure that it happened, like, actually, like, creating. And sometimes it doesn't always have to be, like, motivation. It's just really, like, that passion inside of you. And I think overall, like, again, I have my daughter, you know, just with her, seeing her, I'm like, well, what kind of mother do I want her to see? What example do I want to be to her? And that's really big. So then I know that I just have to do, like, the work on myself first and foremost. And anything that I want for her to see is something that I have to do. And then she's going to pick up, little kids watch you. Mm-hmm. They're watching you. They're, picking up after you and doing the different things that you're doing. So I just realized, like, I have to just have, like, better habits for myself. I have to want better for myself so that my daughter sees how a beautiful, healing, growing woman looks, and she doesn't see a hurt mom. She doesn't see a mom who doesn't know herself, a mom who feels lost. That's a lot. I don't have to just take care of myself. I'm taking care of my child too. Right. So that's been my biggest factor. What about yours?
I think finding comfort in being uncomfortable.
That's
feel like that in itself is like growth and like in helping me to shift and pivot. That embracing those uncomfortable moments and like having that faith that everything is going to work out like it's supposed to. Mm-hmm. And so like I'm unlearning so much and healing so much in like the uncomfortable places behind the scene. Mm-hmm. And it's beautiful. Mm-hmm. Like these are places that I feel like I had to grow and shift in order to be in them. Mm-hmm. And then like also learning to have an appreciation for them as well. Yes. So yeah, and it's uncomfortable, but in a good way, because I know it's for like it's for my better good.
Yes,
sure.
What they say, pressure creates diamonds. Yeah. Like just those, and uncomfort is. I look at it as like a challenge. Mm-hmm. Like we shouldn't necessarily be afraid of challenges. How do we move forward? Like a challenge is forcing you to be better. Mm-hmm. We always have these signs, these symbols around us, like for our paths that we're on. I always mention like when I first met my husband, there was a voice that said, "This is going to be your husband." And I think about it all the time because I'm like, well, I've never heard a voice so clearly be like, "This is going to be your husband." I'm like, why would a voice like come to me and tell me that? And I'm like, was a path already like laid out in a way for us to like meet and to grow? And then we have Urban Eden and our lives, that we're creating our lives. So it's just like in one way we do create our lives a lot, but then I also wonder so many times, I'm like, is there like just...
I feel like we are always shifting and unfolding to get us, like I feel like there is a path.
There's a path.
But like then there's life distractions. Mm-hmm. And the distractions either keep us off or keep us on. You have to make that conscious decision. So I feel like that's where our level of like manifestation and things like that come into play.
That's true.
Yeah.
Manifestation is real, okay?
So what do you feel like some herbs that are supporting you right now?
Some herbs that are supporting me right now, I would honestly say a lot of the herbs that are growing on my front porch. I do have a rental, so I had like a gardening ground, but I plan on moving, so I'm just doing stuff in containers. But one herb that I have been working with so closely is holy basil. I have it growing right there. It smells so good. And I was recently, you know what? I got another book that I got to get for you. Okay. Rosemary Glasstar has a new book. Okay. It's called The Generosity of Plants.
I got it.
You got, okay, so I ain't got to get that for you because she already on it.
No, I got it.
Okay,
it's
good.
Something new coming out, herbal related, and it's good. I'm on it.
Okay.
Yeah.
And it's a really good book. I actually like her book because it mentions like quotes, and she was like, every time she sees a good quote, she writes it down. I was like, that's a good idea. Mm-hmm. So I'm going to start incorporating that. But I believe it was in that book. I want to say it was in that book. She talked about holy basil. Mm-hmm. She was just like, if you have holy basil like growing by your front door, for one, it represents protection. But she was like, when you go by the holy basil, like just rub the plant and smell it and just take in the fragrance of it. And that's why even when we drink it in this tea,
smelling it, yeah.
I said that's why the Latin name of it is Ocimum Sanctum. Mm-hmm. Sanctum is just like sacred, holy. Mm-hmm. And I was like, holy basil really truly makes me feel that way. It feels supportive. It feels like
it lives up to its name.
It lives up to its name. It's beautiful. It smells good. One thing that I've been trying to do in my life a lot more is romanticize my life. Like I'm going to take care of myself. I'm going to look good. Yes, if my hair take a couple hours, if my nails take a couple hours, if I need to buy my whatever it looks like, I'm making my tea. It's going to look cute. Yes, like I want to romanticize my life. And so I feel like holy basil has just supported me in making sure that like, I smell good. The fragrance, I feel good. Like that's how holy basil makes me feel. I also have lemon balm. Lemon balm is nice and relaxing and soothing. And I love the way that it grows as well. I've really had to learn how to like take care of my plants too. Like my holy basil, even when I first bought it, it was dying. And I was like, wait a minute, like I'm not getting the use out of it. Like, and I felt bad about my plant. I've always felt like plants are like a reflection of yourself. The plants that you have, that you take care of, if you're not watering them, it's like, are you taking the time to like water yourself? Are you taking the time to take care of yourself? And I gave my holy basil some plant food, and I gave it to all of my plants. Everybody was doing good, but holy basil was just struggling. Right. So I gave it some plant food and only a little bit, and then some water, and she came back. Sis was like, I'm here with you. Like, I'm not going nowhere. So I got lemon balm, holy basil, sunflower, not technically a herb, but you can, sunflower seeds and stuff. I love my sunflower, just watching it grow from like this little baby plant to like being this big plant.
Big old thing.
Yes, just that, and just showing those phases and that growth in life. I got aloe, just,
Of course for the skin. Yeah.
Of course for the skin, keeping you moisturized. It's been helping with my hair. I use my aloe for my hair, for my daughter's hair, and purple basil. Purple basil I love. I was recently looking up basils, and they were saying that like all basils just represent like protection for one, and then also they represent like the heart and joy and pleasure. And I was like, that's what we need more of in this world.
As you're listening, as you're speaking, I'm listening like, okay, everything that she's taking aligns with like where you said she was, from the holy basil, supporting you, it being an adaptogen and bringing that harmony back in the body, to that lemon balm. Like all these are like nervous system herbs, which makes sense because of where you are. And so the more you talking, I'm like, everything she growing is already around her. Like she got everything that she already needs, and that's really what it looks like. So I love that.
Hold on, I got a couple more herbs. Wait a minute. Goldenrod is another one. Yeah. Goldenrod, I realized like even this year, I was like, I didn't know if I was going to forage any goldenrod because I wasn't really finding that in any really good spaces. But I was like, goldenrod I love how goldenrod shows up every year, right on time. And it's beautiful, it's bright, and it's golden. Like, you're not going to miss me. You're going to see me. It's shining, it's light. It captures so beautifully in the sun. And then goldenrod is just a really great natural herb that takes care of you in the fall and winter through those seasons. So that was just another one. That was like another little honorary one. Of course, there's so many other different ones, but those are just like my honorary mentions right there. What about you, sis?
Oh, girl, I feel like herbalism is a lifestyle for me, so I got them doing in every way. So one that I really love is California poppy. I really love it. Like it's really great alongside of holy basil. I love it for mental clarity and stability. So I feel like with my life and all that I have going on, like keeping that in check is key for me. So I take that. I'm always taking things to support my womb, hormonal imbalances, because those are things that I struggle with in the past. And so the chase tree berry, that's my girl. Yes. Love She's her down.
Chase berry is a girl's girl.
I have been big on butterfly pea. Okay. I've been heavy on butterfly pea lately. The girlies love
butterfly pea because we love a little purple.
Yeah, now. And I always make mine into a lemonade. So the butterfly pea has been my thing. And then hibiscus. Hibiscus have been calling me within this season. I have this big, beautiful plant in my yard, and I think like for me, the way that I'm able to show with it for others. So I love it in the tea. I'm always having it in the tea. I recently had it in some ice cream, so I do like making herbalism a lifestyle. Yes. Yeah. So I had got some coconut milk, and then I added in some cinnamon and some hibiscus and simmered it. Right, infuse that up, add a little bit of nutmeg, okay, add in a little bit of vanilla extract, strain the herbs, and then I put it in my Ninja. Yes. So I let it freeze, and then I put it in my Ninja, so I made my own ice cream.
To get me one of them Ninjas. I was like, because I got the Cuisinart, and I'd have messed it up already. We barely even got to use it. But hibiscus is definitely, I should have mentioned that one too, because hibiscus is just one of those herbs that you can drink every day.
It's so nourishing, and I love it. I'm in this space of my life, I feel like, of like just love, I feel like. And so using that hibiscus for the heart, for the circulatory system within that way. And so those are the things that I've been really leaning into, not to speak of like all the herbs for aromatherapy. So I always have like incense and things going, like I am, it's a vibe. And so those are my things right now.
Yes. Okay. And yes, incense is definitely one for me. I took an incense making workshop. I highly recommend doing one of those. The ritual of making incense is so just like soothing. Being able to work, frankincense has become one of my favorites since then, in working with incense, but definitely just like burning it every day, just allowing it to set the intention and the vibe in your house. Essential oils, of course, there's so many different ways, and that's why we got a podcast, y'all, because we're going to be talking about all the different ways of herbalism so far. So yes, coming up. So this was our first episode, pretty much. I think we did good. I wasn't trying to like cry. But I wasn't trying to shed a little tear either.
It's okay, because guess what? We still healing while at this table.
Yes, we are. That's what this table is for. This table might see some tears. It's gonna see us change. And again, you guys are always welcome to pull up a chair and change and go through that growth and that healing with us. Some of our episodes that we're gonna be talking about, I know our next one, we're gonna be talking about herbs for women's health.
I can't wait to talk about that.
Looking forward to talking about that.
Can't wait to talk about that.
And we're gonna be talking about so many other different things along the podcast, just relatable topics that make sense. I know we're gonna be on YouTube for sure.
Yeah.
Spotify is doing a new thing now where you can see the videos on the podcast. It's not just the audio.
We were talking about that earlier.
I'm a Spotify girly. I love Spotify. They're going to probably have my membership as long as possible.
Yeah.
So I love that the podcasts are evolving to where you can be able to have that visual aspect, especially like me.
It's necessary.
We want to see.
I think that's a part of healing. I think representation matters.
Yes,
I think it matters. And so I think us showing up at our healing table from an herbal standpoint is a whole vibe for one, but I also think that it provides a great space for other women to find their way.
Yes.
Yeah.
Indeed, I do as well. So yes, guys, we do have some social medias. We have our YouTube. We have Instagram,
TikTok.
We have TikTok.
Yeah.
We got to post on there a little bit more. But as we continue to create more content, you'll start to see more things from us on there. I think we'll even be doing like some going and hanging out and doing some different herbal ventures and just posting that on there. So follow us on any of our social medias so that you guys can stay tuned for more episodes and more ventures that we're on. And then you can also connect with us. Our email.
Yes. Our email. We are going to list everything below.
There we go.
We're going to have everything listed below, y'all, because we are still navigating this space. Okay, so give us grace. Give us grace. We're going to have everything listed below. And then to comment if you have some questions or topics that you want us to discuss. With it being our healing table and showing up for a community, we want to make sure it's definitely relatable within that way. So if you have topics or things that you would want to see us discuss from a holistic standpoint, do let us know.
Please do. We'll be on the lookout for that. All right. So before we close out, though, we do want to do an affirmation as well to leave you guys with, and just something for ourselves. We talked about words of affirmation just being good for us, but just a little something to sit with. All right, sis, you ready for our affirmation?
Yes. So our affirmation we have for today is,
I nourish myself with herbs, rest, and rituals that restore me.
Y'all take that with y'all. I like to speak my affirmations every single day and allow that to resonate and soak in. And we look forward to seeing y'all in the next episode.
We sure do, y'all. Thank y'all for joining us at the healing table. Peace.